What's going on, guys? So, as you can see via the title above me, or below me, technically speaking, this is the announcement for the 2022 Shoky Builders Contest, Shoky Reviews Builders Contest, either way. And as I did many years ago, seems like a decade ago at this point, we did actually do the MS100, which was supposed to go to multiple sclerosis, but things happened, and it actually ended up going to a different charity. However, revamping that contest a little bit for 2022. So this is the announcement of said contest, and I'll be going over all the rules, which I'm going to have pulled up over here in just a second. It's going to be a little bit different this time. A little more open course, a little more letting you guys play with things, and just kind of cut loose a little bit. And I know that it's like kind of contest season right now. One just ended here locally. There's Zacharias has got one going on. There's other ones going on. So, you know, if you choose to partake in this one, great. And this is a charity contest. We'll be raising money for charity. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right. So as you can see right here, rules are up. They will be linked down below in the thingy. So, like I said, 2022 Shoky Custom Charity Contest rules. I've just realized I don't have to look over here because it's in front of my face. So this one will be starting kind of this weekend as it is. So 3/19 through 6/4. That is June 4th. That gives you a very minimum 2 months with a little bit of extra time to kind of get some stuff done. Now, I'll say now, if a small amount of extension is necessary, I will probably make that accommodation if it works. But the consensus was pretty much really between 2 and 3 months when I put up the polls everywhere. Most people said 2, a lot of people said 3, so this is kind of somewhere in between. But I think I will only give maybe another week of cushion at best. But for right now, it's set at 6/4. And given that there's a lot of stock coming in, especially here in the US, it should be a lot easier for people to get a hold of it. However, as we'll go over in the rules here, you may not have to buy anything new necessarily. So, let's go over this. So, this is a contest to let builders cut loose and have some fun. There'll be almost no limits on what you can build, just in how you build it. It is to raise money for multiple sclerosis research to make it for the previous contest, which funds were diverted to a different charity. While the name will still carry the MS100 title and logo, builds will not be limited to 1/100 scale kits, meaning that it doesn't matter. Just build whatever. And in theory, I will have merch available. If the designs I have are good enough, I will have some merch available, and proceeds will be donated to charity along with the entry fees. Now, this one's a little bit different. So in previous years, I had everybody email to me and do all that kind of stuff. This one's going to be different. This one's going to be held in the Shoky Discord. That's usually linked in every video in the description. It will be there as well for here. And I will have an entire channel within the Discord set up for that purpose. Discord's not that difficult. There's a little bit of learning curve, but it's really not that bad. And given the kind of limited stuff for this, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, this has been the rules ever since. So if you're going to be entering multiple builds as separate entries, you must pay entry fees for each individual entry. But you guys can can enter any or all levels, but only one per level. So if you want an advanced, beginner, or intermediate, you can do all 3. But if you're going to have multiple builds as part of a single entry, at least make sure you say that, you know, because sometimes you'll build 1 or 2 things for, like, say, a diorama or something like that. So, but that's basically how it's going to go. This contest is mostly open for continental US, but if the interest is great enough, I'll open it up to international for online gift cards as well. In fact, the prizes are only going to be Amazon gift cards this time around, so I don't have to worry about shipping anything, and way more money can go directly to the charity. Now, I did say there, I believe I didn't remove it here, but there's a thing. Okay, so entry fees. To enter, you must send the appropriate amount for your class. It's going to all be the same, so it doesn't matter. But make sure you specify in the email or in the thing which one you're going for. In previous years, I set different levels for each one. This one is actually just $10 blanket entry fee, but I forgot to include it here. I will make a change. Make sure that when you sign up via PayPal, make sure you say what level you're entering at, whether it's going to be the beginner, or intermediate, or advanced. And that will be to the Shoky Reviews charity contest at Gmail. That's the PayPal. Actually, that should be good still, as far as I know. I have to triple check and make sure it's good. I haven't used it in a couple of years. Make sure they didn't cancel it outright. If anything changes between now and then, I will fix it, and I will alter the thing here, and just make sure that you're good there. Make sure you select the friends and family option to eliminate fees as well. Gotta love these typos. But that will make sure we get the maximum donation possible. And if you're using a different email for, say, PayPal, and you have a different thing to contact you, make sure that you qualify that also in like the message or the note when you sign up for the pay or send the money. Also, and I need to make sure that this is in here. I haven't added. It's an incomplete document apparently, as I'm remembering these things as I'm going. But sign up for the Discord first, and you can put yourself a screen name. Whether that's just your name or whatever you want to come up with, or if you're already on Discord, include that screen name with your entry, or with your entry payment, so that way we know who you are. Cool. Actually, it does say that right there. Never mind. I don't have to add that. Okay. Now, if you're an adult entering on behalf of a child, also, just let us know ahead of time. Just say, look, this is for my kid. This is going to be their name. Blah blah blah. That kind of stuff. Because obviously, kids don't necessarily have the connections on the PayPal or bank account and anything like that. Just make sure you include that. This is a family-friendly contest, and we do want the younger generations to totally play along. Also, if you're paying for someone else, say it's somebody who doesn't have access to PayPal or doesn't use PayPal or whatever, if you're paying for someone else, make sure you include their name and whatever name they're going to be using on the Discord. So we don't have like blank ones where like, who is this, So that way there's going to be a list. There's going to be who's paid, who's entered, and then we'll go through the thing, and that's how you match up with whatever. Does that make sense? Include whatever name of the person who is going to be participating, whether that's you or someone you're paying for. Make sure that's in the notes whenever you throw down the money in the PayPals. Now, if you're unsure about what level you're going to enter, I do have it spelled out coming below. But I'll also have a channel just for contest questions in the Discord. So there'll be a whole little section dedicated only to the contest, and it'll be where you're going to enter your stuff, and if you have any questions for it. Now, once again, I already covered the fact that entry fees are $10 across the board. I don't know why I bothered to leave them like that, but, just it is what it is. All entry fees will be donated along with profits from the merch to the NMSS. That's National Multiple Sclerosis Society. However, I'm going to hold on to 10% of fees just in case, because right now I'm planning on shipping something to the winners. Now, if that something works out the way I really want it to, it's going to be worth it. You'll get your prize via email or whatever, because I'm going to go, like I said, I'm doing that via Amazon. So also you'll need an email for me to be able to send Amazon gift cards to as well. So, and then any money left over after that will be donated. If there isn't any money left over after that, well, there is what it is. So, let's talk about the builds, because that's the important thing. This thing everybody wants to know about, right? Also, that should be capitalized. I don't know why it isn't. I'm just going to go ahead and edit this live while I'm here. There we go. So normally when I do these kind of things, I want to say it's a Bandai only thing. Let me scroll down. I just realized I can't see this. Okay. Normally I would say it's Bandai only or Kotobukiya only. No third party or KO kits. This time, I don't give a shit. All right. So you can do anything as it's a pretty open build contest. Any type of kit you want to do, go for it. If you want to include even some stuff from like a car kits or anything like that, that's fine. However, as we go through the rules, you'll see why certain things are important. This is an open contest, though, meaning you can do whatever you want with your design, but please keep it family friendly. No obscene themes or builds, because I've seen some people in the past, friends of mine included, who have made some fairly obscene things. Keep it family friendly. Keep it regular internet friendly, as these things will be shown off both in our Discord and on the Shoky channel whenever I go over all of it. It also means no nudity and no sexual content whatsoever. It will be disqualified immediately if we see anything like that. So, and you're not going to forfeit your money. Or you're technically going to forfeit your money at that point, because it'll just go to the thing and whatever. Also, I didn't mention this. If you just want to donate, feel free to donate and not participate. You can do that too. One thing I did not include, and I might near the end of this, if you just want to donate and just show off something cool you've built but not participate, I'll probably have just an exhibition thing just for that. So, once again, I'm looking at my screen here, not here. All right, so the builds must be new in order to compete. However, if you have a previously built kit and you're using it as a base to customize, let us know in your initial submission. So we're going to need a before and an after in those cases. So if I'm taking, I don't have anything out at the moment. Okay, so I have my Optimus Prime build right back here. Say I wanted to use that as my base for the contest. I need to show that built thing first and declare my want to modify that therein. Now, this is important after this because in previous contests, we had somebody enter something they built 2 years prior to the contest and thought they would get away with it. And he was disqualified, but we gladly kept his money for the charity. Don't enter an old bill and claim it as new. It will be immediate disqualification. And, just don't be a jerk. Just don't be a jerk about it. There's plenty of stuff to build from, things like that. If you want to show off some cool stuff you did, like I said, I might just do an exhibition section where you can just show off whatever, and it's fine, as long as it, once again, falls within the rules, no sexual nudity stuff. So, but it has been done before, and it was very, very annoying when that person did it, because he did it multiple times. Not only did it do it with his first attempt at an entry, he did it with his second entry to replace the first one. So, yeah, very annoying. Just be honest. Seriously, just be honest. All right, this contest will differ from previous, as it is a kit bashing and customizing contest. The levels will determine what you are limited to. So before, it used to be like, okay, so this area was for beginners, this was out the box, this is intermediate, this is advanced, this is like absurd level. Now, every level is expected to do some type of kit bashing and customizing. Now, where that comes in, you're required to use a base kit or a previous build. Sorry, I get confused because I said mouse on both screens. And you must add to or change at least 30% new parts from another source and retain at least 50% of the base kit. So, in essence, if you have a base kit that you just really want to throw a whole bunch of stuff on, cool, just do that. If you want to, say, take a wing Gundam and you don't want any of the arms or legs or wings on it, I'll say that most of the torso basically equates to about 50%, and then you can just swap it out. Think of it as if you have the middle chunk of the Gundam, or whatever main build you're doing, keep at least 50% of that, so that it has some semblance of that, because at some point, ship of Theseus, how far do you go before you no longer have the original thing? Keep at least 50% of the original thing, and then you can do whatever you want with the rest. So that's why I said you need to change at least 30%. Now, that's going to be a harder thing to qualify at some of these things, but if you're doing kit bashing, you can get there really quick. like realistically. Now, these things will be spelled out by level here in a minute. There is a theme to this contest, although it is a very limited theme. It is something every entry must do. The theme requirement: all builds must be shown doing an Obari pose. If you don't know what an Obari pose is, here's a few examples. In fact, the logo I came up with for this contest is an Obari pose. Now, you have to have at least one picture in your submission of your final build doing an Obari pose. Now, this means that your build must be able to hold and maintain that. Now, the thing is, if that's your only pose, cool, that's fine. Though you'll find out, poses are still important as it goes. Now, this pose can be done with a variety of weapons, so it's not exclusive to only melee weapons. A lot of people think it's just holding out a big giant sword. Nope, you could do it with a big old gun just as easy. Or a fishing rod, or stuff like that. Just saying, you can do it with a lot. A lot of people have mocked it in the past. All right, so another thing that is important: use of resin conversion kits is allowed, and we're talking about full-on conversion add-on kits that you can purchase that are already pre-made in a box that you have to soak and scrub and sand and scribe and fit and all that kind of nonsense. Now, if you're going to do that, that's going to automatically put you in the advanced level, because that's a buttload of work. And if you're willing to go that far, fine. Now, resin conversion does basically fit this requirement, because I usually use the base kit as a thing to convert. So that totally works in and of itself. Now, also super important, big bold letters important: use of 3D printed custom parts is strictly prohibited, because I know the world we live in, and I had this discussion with friends of mine who wanted to basically just be able to design anything and everything they wanted and just print it out and slap it together. This is a kit bashing and custom building contest. Building, not designing and printing. Use of found parts or purchase parts is what we're looking for here. Scratch building, totally a thing to be expected here. Taking a different part off another kit, making it fit the one you need, whether that's glue, sanding, chopping, whatever, cool, that's exactly what we want here. Just printing stuff out, or even paying someone else to print something out for you, no, not going to be allowed. Sorry, not in this contest. However, future things, we'll see. Now, there is one small exception, and I'll get to that later in the thing. But as a whole, no 3D printing allowed. No 3D printing allowed. I just want to say it again. All right, so scrolling on. Now, there will be 3 skill levels. The beginner. Full paint jobs, not allowed. Nope, we're not looking for paint jobs in beginner. But detail stickers, minor accent paints such as eyes, thrusters, pistons, little stuff like that. Where you're just going to pick out smaller details, that kind of thing, that is encouraged. And in fact, that's pretty much what you're limited to doing. Panel lining and top coat only. Here's the other thing. So for beginners, and I want to stress this, sometimes when you get a kit, actually a lot of times, color separation isn't the best. So certain parts are lacking things like gray paint or something like that, yellow paint, red paint, that's supposed to be that color, and you can see it on the box. That's one of those things where if a sticker doesn't do it, like they don't even include a sticker for it, especially on an HG level, such as my 00 kits where I've had to add the gray and stuff like that to fill out the areas that are completely missing the color that's necessary. That is something that will be allowed in this, because it's a detail, not an entire paint job. Something like that, like small areas that need that. However, if it comes with stickers, use the stickers to the best of your ability, especially if you are like really a beginner. Now, here's the thing. Also panel lining. Definitely please panel line your things. That's important. And then only allowing top coat other than that. Utilize color matching of parts to build different color schemes. So if you've got a couple different kits that are very, very different in colors that don't go together, probably avoid doing that. Try to find things that work together in a pleasing manner color-wise. Since you're not allowed to ultimately change the color of stuff, work on it. Kit bash some stuff together that works on it. I mean, I've built a lot of things that are kit bashes that work fine without even being painted. You can do it. Use some ingenuity. It does work. All right. As painting isn't allowed, that is, full paint jobs specified, cleanliness and the build quality and use of limited detail will make the difference. So really just make sure your build is as clean as possible. Watch your nub marks. Watch your sticker placement, especially if it's one of these ones that, like, say you have an RG and you've got a buttload, because once again, you can do whatever you want in this level. If it's an RG and you have a buttload of tiny detail stickers, make sure they're perfect. That's going to matter a lot. So these are things, if you haven't competed in any of these online contests, especially one that I judge, you really got to pay attention to these kind of things, especially nub marks, cleanliness in panel lining, stuff like that, all very important. Especially in the beginner, where we're going to see all of that. You're not going to be able to hide behind a really clean paint job or filler or seam lining or anything like that. None of that's allowed, so you really have to... Basically, we're going to look at essentially a very naked build in this case. Now, like I said, same for coherent color schemes and parts usage. So make sure things work together in such a way. Like I said, you can print, or not print, sorry, I'm reading thing. You can paint a little bit of stuff, like your thruster bells, like pistons, like very small little details, such and things like that. Like say you have translucent eyes, but you want them to pop, you can go ahead and paint those. If you need to paint the black part around the eyes on most Gundams, for instance, and they don't even offer that as a sticker or anything like that, go ahead and paint it. But generally speaking, if it has a sticker, show me your amazing sticker work. If you are a beginner who is uncomfortable with painting anything, go crazy with the stickers you're given. Now, don't be going extra on it, but use what you're given in the box, basically. Intermediate. This is where I expect a lot of people to be. So full paint jobs are expected. You need to paint everything head to toe. No bare plastic, realistically, unless it's, here and there. But a full paint job, it's going to be a necessary thing here. Weathering is allowed. I wouldn't go crazy with it, but do some weathering if you want to. No diorama work outside of custom painting a base or a stand. So if you want it on just an action base of some sort, or something to hold something in a pose, that's it. That's all you can do. No dioramas, no building out little grass and sand and rocks and stuff like that. Nope. Just if you want to have a custom action base that works for your kit, that's the only thing you can have in that section there. Use of lighting outside of anything included within a kit that is used is not allowed. So I know a lot of you guys really want to build your own LED setups. You want to do this whole Arduino unit, all these kind of crazy things. No. If one of the kits or multiple of the kits you use to build has lighting, that's all you're allowed to use. And it has to function in its original manner. Meaning, if it's a Bandai lighting thing, whether it's the stupid little hockey puck lights, or it's the twin light system with the battery pack, it has to be able to function the way it originally did. Doesn't mean you have to use it the way it was originally intended. Just means it has to function that way. Is that fair? I think that's fair. And also, the use of things like MSG or I think that's Kotobukiya does MSG, or Bandai's like builder parts is allowed as add-ons for like weapons. Any of that stuff you can use from this level up. But that does not open the door for you to say, hey, I got these 3D printed parts off of Etsy. I got these resin conversion parts that this guy printed out. No. If it's something from MSG, there's a lot of people that make resin conversion kits and stuff like that. That's all basically going to push you up into advanced. However, MSG or builder's parts, stuff like that won't push you up there because it's just adding to the kit bashing nature of the thing. Basically how that comes down to it. So where you can't use that in beginner, you can definitely use that in intermediate. Otherwise, basically scavenge whatever you got to make stuff work. That's kind of half the fun of kit bashing. Actually, that's most of the point of kit bashing, is scavenging stuff to make it work where it originally wasn't. Now, advanced. This is where you guys really like to play. No real limitations outside of 3D printing. You're here to show off, but I expect more of you at this level. This is kit bashing and customizing. Use your imagination. Basically, at this level, as long as you're following the base instructions, go nuts. You can customize kit bash as long as you're using at least 50% of the original thing. If you want to make as many scratch built parts, or you want to source parts from God knows where, make it happen, Kevin. And you can have dioramas, all the crazy stuff you want to do. We've seen what happens. I mean, I use Gordon as an example, where he built a diorama from scratch built most of the stuff that slapped on his ashtray, all that kind of stuff from the last time we did a contest. And it was just fantastic. And technically, that even still follows the rules under this. Now, here's the only exception to the 3D printing rule. This is the only one that I'm allowing. Don't play outside of this. Cool? The only exception is that if you need lighting fixtures, whether internal or external to your build, that is the only use of this. And I'm making this exception for people like my buddy Dougie, who makes little spotlights, little LED spotlights that are all 3D printed. Now, if you want to build stuff like that, cool. If you need something like you need a very specific way for a light to work within your build, and you have a 3D model thing to make that light do what it's got to do inside the body, cool. No 3D parts allowed on the outsides of your build in this case. And only used for lighting purposes. It's the only exception that I'm making, and only in the advanced category, because it's the only place you can make dioramas. So basically, if you want to use spotlights, or say you had some clear 3D printed flames or something like that, that's the only way that's going to work. Actually, even that's stretching it a little bit, but as long as it's used to the effect of lighting fixtures to improve your thing. Because in some of these cases, that's the easiest way to make that happen, and it's not something that's readily available or purchasable, whereas some people can just make those and it works. So that's the only exception to 3D printing. And also, I do expect lighting to be done cleanly and really well hidden wires and stuff like that. I've seen some builds where the wires are plainly visible on a very well done kit. That's not advanced work. Do a little bit better. So that's one of those things where we are really, really going to crack down on you. Now, your submissions. As this is a Discord contest. What is stuttering? As this is a Discord contest, once you've joined the server and signed up, you'll be granted permission to post within the submission channels. Only admins and yourselves will be allowed to post or comment. Please keep comments limited so that your entries are the focus. So, no discussing stuff, no just like talking about whatever. You're here to literally drop your stuff, say, this is what I'm doing, and get out. That's it. And this is going to be the same for anybody who watches this in the Discord. No errant discussions. If you're just chatting away within the contest channel, it's just going to get erased. That's why if you have a discussion or question, there'll be a whole separate thing just for that. Now, if we need to contact you, we'll probably do that. Like, if you need to contact the admins or myself for questions about the contest, probably mostly myself, because I think at least one of my admins is joining in on the contest, you can do that. There's an easier way to do that. It's not a problem. Now, there's going to be 2 channels, and this says how it all started. If you have paid your entry fee and included your screen name, please post an initial picture of your base unbuilt kit or previous build that you include or that you intend to modify, including a visible note with your screen name or real name, whichever, whatever name you're going by in this contest. Please include a little note, sticky note, piece of paper, whatever, that's got that name and the date that you took the picture in that thing. No modifying it on your phone. No, well, I did this. No, I want a physical piece of paper next to your build. I don't want to see any of this Photoshop nonsense, because I'm not going to trust anything that looks like you scribbled on it on your phone or computer just to add that thing. Seriously, just take a picture. You're already going to have to take pictures for this. Take a picture, note, unbuilt kit that you're intending on using, and a brief description of your idea. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy, but, you know, what you're planning on doing, if you got a plan. And you're going to put that in the Where It All Started channel. I don't know, God, how it all started. I think it's because I typed it separately. There it goes. Now, at the end of this, when you're ready to submit, when you're done building, your final submission, please post no less than, let's be honest here, I want more if you can help it, but no less than 10 high resolution. I'll say that again. High resolution. Check it on your phone. Now, here's the other thing. Discord tends to compress photos sometimes, so just be careful in how you upload. It does matter. Now, I want to see as many angles of your build as you can. Get it from all kinds of different angles. It matters. And then that will go in the How It All Ended channel. And more pictures are better. And if there's any specific things that you want to show off that you did, make sure you get that in pictures. Also, just like your original entry, I need at least one picture with your name and the date next to your build to prove that it's yours and you did it, or at least that you're there with it. Not just snagging pictures off the internet. If we discover any dishonesty, you're going to be disqualified. We're going to keep your money anyways. And probably not going to show your work off. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to include in this, and I forgot to say this. If you want to tell us about your build, this is your time to do it. You know, like I said, this is a Discord-based contest, and it doesn't like posting dozens of high-res pictures. I got to scroll farther down. At once, take your time, and try not to compress them. Like, it has a thing where if you want bulk upload, it wants to, like, super compress them. Sometimes you can do it a little bit at a time, and it should be okay. But this is also an exception. If you feel it's easier to upload to somewhere else that, you know, a photo hosting thing or a Google Drive or something like that, you can post your link with a few pictures, you know, say post like 4 or 5 pictures, 2 or 3, whatever. Just a few pictures, including the one we need to see, and then your Google link. And the important thing here is also to describe your build. Tell us what you did to the best of your ability. Like, you can write pretty long paragraphs. So if you did a lot of work, tell us about it. This is where you're going to do it. Now, here's the other thing that does get ever so slightly difficult and is going to require a little bit of patience here. And this is one reason also why I didn't want to have to go through emails, because having to give like 4 or 5 people access to an email server to access all this stuff is very, very annoying. Whereas if everybody can just come to a Discord page, that's what I want to do. All right, so if you're going to post to the Discord and you're going to be posting a bunch of stuff, you'll notice that somebody else might be posting when you are. Try not to interrupt their post with yours. Now, sometimes it's kind of like, you know, a Facebook conversation in a way. You know, if you're going back and forth on Messenger, sometimes you'll accidentally interrupt stuff if you're inserted in the wrong thing, but you can see the other person typing. If you see somebody going, just wait a bit, or wait till you hit send, and then send yours as well. Or maybe they'll be finished by the time you do it. It's not that difficult, but I can understand why it can be annoying. But also, this is a way I can kind of host these things somewhat publicly where everyone can see what's up, not just limiting it only to our email. So that's the thing. Now, here's the other thing. So if you're going to post after May 21st of this year and before June 5th. So the contest will end June 4th unless otherwise extended. So before the 5th. The 4th is your last day to do it. But I don't want people being done in like a week and a half and it just sitting there forever. So don't post them until after May 21st. Cool? Got it. All right. Now, for those who are more YouTube or video inclined, if you want to make a video of your build and talk about it and show us things, by all means, do that. Post the link, stuff like that. But still keep a few pictures for people to look at and your description, if you can, or rather your showing us it's yours picture. Still need those things in every entry. So if you're going to do a link to an external source for all of your pictures or video or whatever, at least include a couple pictures and the one specifically that shows that, you've got your note. And then if everything is going to be on Discord, by all means, post your description there. If it's going to be a link to a YouTube video where you're going to talk about it all, then you don't have to post a description as long as you tell us what's going on. In English, please, if you can help it. I know not everyone's going to necessarily speak English, but if you can, please. Because it's just going to make it easier for all my judges. Now, the other thing is, because this is all picture-based or even video-based, make sure you get in close. I want to see what you did. I want to see your work. No trying to hide mistakes or details by taking pictures from far away. That also goes into your presentation. We'll talk about that here in a little bit when I go over how we judge things. I know a lot of people have questions about this stuff. Now, if you're giving a detailed technique or a detailed description of your piece and techniques you used so that we can see all these things, make sure we can see that if you're telling us about something, show it also in a picture. Make sure we know that. A lot of people have lost points because their pictures weren't that good and we couldn't see all the work they necessarily did. And if you modified something heavily, show us it before and after if you got to. Be clever about it. If you did a lot of work to make something badass, show us and tell us. That's the thing. You will have the time to do such things. So do it. Now, something that's a little bit different this time, I'm actually allowing the use of photo editing for effect purposes. So if you're going to be doing a picture of an Obari pose, a lot of times there's like explosions and light effects and stuff like that going on in the animes. If you want to do it, but only for the Obari pose and maybe one or two if you're just adding effect to a thing like glowing eyes, flame effects, something like that. Just for fun. Have a little Photoshop fun. Add some stars in the background, something like that, just for fun. It doesn't have to go crazy. It's not a requirement. It's just something that's allowed. Just because, if you want to do it, I'll allow it this go around because I feel like a lot of people are getting better at fun camera tricks and editing stuff like that. I see it on Instagram all the time. If you can do it, do it. It's going to add points. It's going to help you out. Now, prizes. Let's talk about this. Times are tough. Getting tougher. Frankly, only going to be 4 prizes at all this year. Maybe 1 if there's enough international. If there's enough international entries, then I'll probably include that. If there's 1 international entry, I might just go ahead and waive their fee or something instead. Now, beginner will get a $30 Amazon gift card. Intermediate, $60 Amazon gift card. Advanced, $90 Amazon gift card. Best in the show, $120 Amazon gift card. Now, that's better than me picking out the specific kits and shipping them to you and all this kind of stuff when I can literally just send it to your email and you can go buy whatever the heck you want. Whether that's a kit, whether that's paint, whether that's anything, I don't care. Just, it's your money. You win it, go for it. Now, judging, this is important, and this is where you guys are going to have to pay attention. So, judging will be on a 1 to 10 point system. Based on 5 main categories. That's not 100% true. Creativity is actually only a 5-point system. But build quality, how well it's constructed, painted, etc. matters greatly in the lower levels like beginner, where clean builds are the norm. The quality of your detail work will be judged here. Clean your nubs. It's super important. So check your sticker placement, check how good your paint is. If you got nubs on a fully painted thing and we could see it, that's going to hurt you. All that kind of stuff. Now, details. Picking out small things like pistons or thrusters, sticker decal placement, use of weathering, all counts. Now, this isn't about quality. It's about what you do. So, that's one of those things that does matter. So if you have those kind of things done, especially where it's kind of necessary in the beginner category, that's where your points are going to rack up. So the better, the more and the better. So quality and quality is slightly different than details. It's kind of a hard thing to explain, but details is the time you take to make sure things are perfect. Quality is how perfect it ends up being. Does that make sense? Pose. So a lot of guys do have problems, or I should say people in general, because it's not just guys, have a problem with poses. A lot of times people just have it work gun just straight out, arms down by the side, something dumb. Don't just have a stagnant pose. Make it some type of action pose. Don't have to be any crazy things like that, but something. Make it worth it. Now, if you want to do multiple poses because it's still movable, go for it. A lot of poses that doing silly things or more action poses. Now, I assume that the guys with dioramas are probably going to be a fixed pose because it's all going to be wired up and very fixed and all that. Cool, but you realize the problem there is that it needs to be able to do an Obari pose. Now, here's the thing: is you could technically get away with an Obari pose before it's 100% complete. Before you lock it down. I'm just talking about advanced people where things won't be able to move. But if the advanced guys all have an amazing Obari pose, I'm not going to go against it. Now, here's the thing: the Obari pose will be a 5-point thing in and of itself. We'll be judging how the pose is done, because sometimes it'll be a little and then it'll also be, if you don't have it, that's a 0, which is going to hurt you. That's going to be its own class. So I need to include that separately from pose by itself. So any other poses you might have, it's going to be a matter. We're also going to be judging anything pose-wise as it goes. I'll just put it that way. I know having a fixed particular pose makes it a little bit weird, but that's kind of the point of this, is just to have a really ridiculous Obari pose, just to have fun. Presentation. Figure it out is what I'm saying. Figure it out. Presentation. We rely solely on your pictures / videos to see your build, so the amount of pictures sent, the quality of the shot and composition matters a lot. Get creative, but allow it to see your builds. Dark shadows, hard contrast, and stuff like that can look great, but we can't see anything. So if you're going to take some really nice, cool photos that you're going to use for like a portfolio or whatever, cool. But we also need to see what you did. So if you want to have like 10 photos that are all your like really nicely done, high contrast, well lit, by LEDs or whatever shots, go for it. But give us all the shots that we need to see of this, what you actually did to build things. Your details matter. If you, like one guy, I had to tell him to send more pictures along to make sure that, it's because the original photos weren't good enough to tell us what he did. Now, here's the other thing. I know not everybody has a light box. It's not that difficult to rig one up at home. It's really not. I know guys who've done it with like a bed sheet, a couple clips on their kitchen table. Here's the other thing. We've had people in the past, they didn't have a photo booth or anything else like that, so they just got creative with stuff around the house. Literally had their Barbatos posing, looking out the window, all funny, playing video games, all kinds of stuff. So not only is changing a pose matter, maybe even changing environments matter, especially if you're an intermediate or beginner, where you're going to have to get boosted points somewhere. I'll tell you right now, in the beginner category, presentation, creativity, and quality are going to matter a lot, because you can't do a lot of painting. So the rest of what you do will matter, and creativity is coming up. Also, daylight. If you don't have lights, go outside on a sunny day. You can get some really good shots. Maybe not direct sunlight, but some light. You'll figure it out. Creativity. It's technically a bonus point, but it matters a lot in this contest. Since kit bashing and adding parts is the idea, really make it count. Make it special, but make it cohesive. So if you got something that doesn't work together color-wise, or it's like this part is blatantly weird and stands out from the rest of the cohesion you kind of had, it might knock you a little bit. And I said, just throwing as many random parts on a base Gundam isn't necessarily creative. you know, so it matters what you do. Your creative decisions matter ultimately. And I guess I forgot that in this one, creativity will be a 10-point thing, so a little different from normal. So you'll get the 5 extra points for the Obari pose, separate from the regular pose, and then go from there. All right, so the winners. Winners will be announced on the Shoky Reviews channel. That's me. That's my channel. That's where you're watching this. Upon winner announcement, all winners will be contacted by email or Discord by me, which time I'll need to know where to potentially ship something to you. Once again, if what I have planned goes through, I will need your shipping address if you're within the continental U.S. The other thing is, obviously, I'll need, if you have an email that's different that you want me to send for the Amazon gift card, I'll need that at that point too. So, and all winners will be offered a chance to be featured on a Shoky Builder Showcase to further show off your work if you want to, if you're comfortable talking about it, if you have the ability to show stuff off. If you are local to Houston and willing to make a drive and actually come up and hang out in the Shoky Cave and actually really show it off on my review set that's right over there, that's an open invite to that. People have done it before. That's how I know Gordon. That's how I used to know Rodimus 13 and those guys like that. You know, there's plenty of people who come by the cave just to show off their builds. Eric, you know, friend of mine who's also competed in most of my contests, all of his stuff has always been featured that he's put in for contests. So, but that's basically it. I think, like I said, if there's any other questions... If there's any other questions, it will be available in the Discord. So there'll be a whole section just in the Discord under the contest for questions about the contest, or leave them in the comments down below. I think I spelled it out. Once again, the whole list of rules and all the stuff will be down below. If there's any changes that are pertinent, they'll be made to the document themselves to make sure I didn't screw anything up, such as the PayPal email. I got to make sure that is still active. Like I said, it's been a little while since I actually used that. I got to make sure that it is still good. If it's not, I need to set it back up again, and I will make sure that's that. So, also, don't send the money immediately if you don't have to. Just make sure that if you do send the money for the contest, that it is done prior to the contest. Maybe I'll include that in the rules. But you don't have to send the money immediately, because then I'll probably have to sit on it for a while, and I don't want to necessarily have to do that if I don't have to. Once again, merch will be available as well to help boost it. If you just want to donate, there'll be a whole section just for that, and I might just add in an exhibition just for the fun of it. Like, if you just want to show off builds, but you're not competing to anything, might just have a whole section for that. Also, if you're going to be in the Shoky Discord, poke around. There's all kinds of stuff, not just Gunpla. There's comic books, movies, TV, music, all kinds of other stuff there. So come and hang out. Just be part of the community if you want to. Or if you just want to come in and join in the contest, that's fine. But that's it for this announcement. I know it's been a while, but it's all good, guys. I'm kind of excited to do this again. I judged a recent contest, and it was a lot of fun doing that. And I actually judged a contest right before that, too. So having my own contest running up again, it'll be fun. And like I said, if the thing I have planned works out, I'm going to be really excited, because it's the first time that I'll be able to offer something physical for the winners. Yeah, that's a good teaser there. So, but I'll see you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on building.